In Lesson 13.2, you will be introduced to what a matrix is. You will learn to organize data in matrices and solve problems by adding or subtracting matrices or by multiplying by a scalar. How are matrices used to organize data? To determine the best type of aircraft to use for certain flights, the management of an airline company considers the following aircraft operating statistics. The table has rows which go across and columns which go up and down of information. When we concentrate only on the numerical information, we see an array with 4 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 columns. This array of numbers is called a matrix. And the dimensions of this matrix, it would be a 4 by 5 because it has 4 rows and 5 columns. If you've ever used a spreadsheet program on the computer, you have worked with matrices. A matrix is a rectangular arrangement of numbers in rows and columns. A matrix is usually described by its dimensions or the number of rows and columns, with the number of rows stated first. Each entry in a matrix is called an element. State the dimensions of the matrix, then identify the position of the circled element in the matrix. This matrix has only one column, so it is a 3 by 1 matrix, going rows by columns. The circled element is in the second row and first column. This matrix has 3 rows and 4 columns. So it is a 3 by 4 matrix, and the circled element is in the first row and fourth column. Two matrices are equal only if they have the same dimensions, and each element of one matrix is equal to the corresponding element of the other matrix. So 3, 3, 5, 5, -1, -1, 4, 4. 4 is not the same as 3, so they're not equal. This is a 2 by 2, and this is a 2 by 3, so they're definitely not equal. So if two matrices have the same dimensions, it's possible to add or subtract them. So example 2 says find the sum. It does not exist, right? Not possible. Well, they're both 3 by 2, so they have the same dimensions, so we can add them. To add, all we have to do is add the elements in the correspondingly same position. So 2 plus 13, 6 plus 7, -8 plus 9, 11 plus 4, 10 plus -7, and -5 plus -12. And so our sum is this whole matrix, 15, 13, 1, 15, 3, -17. Okay, the direction said find the sum if the sum does not exist, right? Impossible. And here we have it. We have a 2 by 2 and a 3 by 3. The dimensions are not the same. So that's the not possible situation. A Division A1 current football coaches with the 5 best overall scores as of 2000 are listed below. Use subtraction of matrices to determine the regular season records of these coaches. So the only thing we're interested in is the number, so we just write it down as a matrix without any names or wins or loss or ties, and we can subtract. And just like adding, when we subtract, we're just going to subtract the elements that are in the same position. Ta-da! So once we do all our subtracting, there's our final answer. Now for the final answer, it would be nice to put the labels back on so we have some meaning, but that is all. Nice table with all of everything labeled. You can multiply any matrix by a constant called a scalar. This is called scalar multiplication. When scalar multiplication is performed, each element is multiplied by the scalar and a new matrix is formed. In a general sense, they have M times matrix A, B, C, D, E, F, and you end up with MA, MB, MC, and so on. It's nicer with numbers. So if we're multiplying matrix R by 5, all we have to do is multiply each element by 5. So that means we're going to take 5 times -5, 5 times 8, 5 times 12, and 5 times 3. So we end up with -25, 40, 60, and -15. A matrix can be used to organize data and make data analysis more convenient. Equal matrices must have the same dimensions and corresponding elements are equal. Matrices with the same dimensions can be added or subtracted. Each element of a matrix can be multiplied by a number called a scalar.